Hello, my name is Lasaya Sarudim. About 10 or 12 years ago, this man, Mr. Curtis Shearer, came halfway around the world from somewhere in Washington State in the USA to Sabah, Malaysia, to the north of Sabah, to this small village as a member of a missionary team from USA. What should have been just another routine missionary trip turned out to be a life-changing trip for Mr. Shearer when in this village, a remote village in the northernmost part of Sabah, which is the Malaysian state on the island of Borneo, he found himself falling in love with a local woman and eventually married her. In this video, and in many more videos that I have with Mr. Shearer, I am going to share with you a conversation that I have with him, and make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and press the notification bell so you won't miss any of the video that I have with Mr. Shearer. Let's get into the video. Today I am with a very good friend here, Mr. Shearer from Washington, D.C. As I have told you in the introduction, that Kurt here, you don't mind I call you Kurt, right?
That's fine.
Okay. Is from Washington, D.C.
No, Washington State.
Washington State, sorry. Washington State. And now he had made Sabah his home.
That's correct.
Okay. So, first thing I would like to ask you, how do you find yourself staying in this place? If you hear whirlwind sound, that's because we just switch on the fan. I was saying, how do you find yourself in your new home, in your new place? Could you tell us?
Well, when I came here, from the very start, I just felt peaceful. I don't feel any threat, like to watch behind me, like somebody is going to try to hurt me, or
Right.
it's just the people are so friendly here. It's just, I've been to many places in the world, many different countries and places in the U.S., and it's always stressful. You have to be on your guard all the time. Here, I don't worry about anything.
Oh, that's so you really feel very safe.
Safe is
Yeah,
what
very
I'm trying to
safe.
say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you adjust yourself to the daily activities?
Well, my personality is a workaholic, so I try to stay busy. You know, I have to be doing something, so I found I can, keep working in the garden area. Kabun, you say.
Okay.
There's always something to do.
So you were able to adjust to the kabun life, the farming life here in Sabah, in North Borneo, they say.
Right.
So anyway, how did you know about coming to Sabah in the first place? Could you tell us a little bit about how you came to Sabah?
Well, I heard of Borneo Island, but I had no idea where it was, or I didn't even know what country it was. I thought Borneo was a country. But then as I saw the opportunity to come visit here, so I did a little research and I found out, oh, this is Malaysia. So, yeah, I'd like to go to that area of the world, and it was an opportunity to come with on a missionary effort.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I understand there was a program by the church, By the way, we belong to the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and Mr. Shearer here, Kurt here, is a very active member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and there was this Share Him program that you joined. Could you tell us about it?
Yeah, it was Share Him and also with Quiet Hour. These two groups were combining forces to go out and they go all over the world. But there was somebody, a local from here, that invited them to come
Okay.
and put on some meetings for the people here.
So that's how you came to be part of the program?
Yeah, actually I applied for 3 different areas. I could have went to, I was accepted on 2 of those. I applied to go to Philippines. I also applied to go to Brazil and go on a boat on the Amazon River with some doctors and dentists.
That would have been wonderful, you know? An
But
experience.
when I looked more into it, it looked like the doctors and the dentists, we'd have all the fun, and we just we're doing all the work. So I said, I think I'll choose this one here in Malaysia, see what that's all about.
Okay, yeah. So that's how you came here.
Yeah.
But there were so many places in Malaysia during the time when you came together. So
Well, we had several different churches, and I was assigned to this little group here that came to this Nangka village church.
oh, right, okay. Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, we will take a break, and then after this we will continue with our conversation.
All right.
Hello, welcome back. And in the next video, Mr. Shearer will share with us his spiritual transformation. And again, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and press the notification bell so that you won't miss any of the video that I have with Mr. Shearer. Let's get into the video. All right, let's move on to the next topic,
Okay.
which I really am interested to talk about. But for now, can you tell us a little bit about your spiritual life?
Yeah, so I didn't become a Christian until I was 28 years old, although I had gone to church for many years. My parents never went to church when growing up, but I was able to go with some neighbors in the village there, and friends of mine would invite me to church. So I had some background as far as I heard about Jesus, you know, heard about the 10 Commandments and things, but there wasn't enough structure there for me to find out how to make it work. You know, these were Sunday churches we went to.
Oh, right.
And, you know, nothing against them, they were wonderful.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
But-
I agree.
But they didn't tell us, they said you're not supposed to do this and you're not supposed to do that. And so, but they didn't tell us how to stop doing it. And I just,
all right.
I couldn't seem to make that connection of, you know, well, I have these desires and they seem to be stronger than my desire to serve God. And that's where I was at for many years.
So how did you come to know about the Seventh-day Adventist Church?
Now, this was after I moved from Los Angeles, California, up to Washington State. So I had been in this Washington State, actually in a little town called Moses Lake.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's a part of the story how I ended up there. It's quite unique. But just for the answer to your question, there was I never heard of a Seventh-day Adventist, but there was a man that had a little health food store there, and I was going into his health food store to buy eggs. I wanted healthy eggs because I worked in construction at a feed factory where they manufacture eggs, produce eggs, and I thought those are not very good healthy, so I went to this little health food store. He was a Seventh-day Adventist in there, but he never said much. He was very friendly, you know. Never said anything until one day I went in there and he handed me a brochure. It was for a Revelation seminar that the Seventh-day Adventists were putting on there in the town. And I looked at that and I had heard about, you know, they showed the 666 and the mark of the beast and all this. you know, the dragon and all that. And so I looked at that. I said, oh boy, I've always wondered about this. So I started attending those meetings.
Oh.
That was my first introduction to Seventh-day Adventists.
Seventh-day,
Yeah.
So immediately you got it interest to you. Is it?
It was an
or-
interest, and then the Adventist people there were very friendly. The evangelist, the pastor, and right away they found out, well, you know, you should really take care of these things in your life, and they wanted me to be baptized, of course. You know, that's their goal
okay.
in these,
Literally, yeah.
you know, this outreach. But they came with a temperance list.
Oh.
You won't do this, you won't do that, you won't do that. Oh, it was a long list. And I said, oh, I'm not ready for
That
all
must
that.
that must have shocked you.
Oh, it shocked me. I said, if I was baptized, I'd just be a big hypocrite because I can't meet those demands at this time in my life. So I declined to be baptized, but and then what happened? I fell away, started drinking again, and you know, using drugs and things wasn't good. So you know, I would see these Adventist people from time to time in the town. Oh, how you doing? You want more Bible studies? I said, no, not yet. You know, maybe later.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't until I had a personal crisis at about 27, 28 years old that because I knew there was a right way and a wrong way, and I wasn't doing the right way. So during that personal crisis, I remember kneeling down and by myself there in my room, and I said, okay, Lord, I tried to run my own life, you know, do it my way. I've failed, obviously. So I said, I'm going to let you take over. And it's kind of strange because I felt something happen.
That's
Something happened, you know, I don't know what. But I got up from praying and I went outside, and it seemed like everything was, I could hear the sounds of nature, which I never heard before. And the colors were beautiful. It was like something, you know, turned on in here, and I became a completely different person at that point.
That's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
You talk about a conversion. It was a transformation all of a sudden.
So it actually it happened by itself after you pray, is it?
Yes. Nobody else around, just me. I said, God, okay, I give up. You know, you take over now. So I started going to church at that point. You know, I was still drinking, but after they had taught about the Sabbath, I said, you know, maybe it's not a good idea to drink on the Sabbath. So Friday night, sundown, I put my beer down. And Saturday night, sundown, I start drinking again. You know, they said, well, you're not supposed to drink, but they didn't. That one they didn't show from the Bible. It's just, I said, no, it says don't get drunk. It doesn't say don't drink. It said don't get drunk. So I kept drinking until the Lord delivered me from that one. That's an interesting.
So that must have been a struggle as well, and then getting rid of those drinking.
You know something, I could never stop on my own. I tried many times stop drinking, and I could get a few days, and I would get nervous, and the only thing calming down was the alcohol, you know, the beer. So till finally, what should I tell you the little how God did that for me?
That's wonderful. Yeah, I think the next part of what Kurt would be telling us is something that is very interesting, and I hope you few fellow viewers, you would be afflicted with this part of the experience that Kurt will be telling us. Would you tell us on that?
Yeah. So this was a habit that I couldn't seem to break, but there was one thing I didn't think it was a sin to drink, right? So, but I still believed in my mind that it's a sin for somebody to make somebody else to do something that will cause somebody else to to do something wrong that they think is wrong.
Ah, all right.
So there was a lady I knew, a friend, my friend's wife, and they were having some trouble in their marriage. And she went back to California from Washington State, and she got converted. She became a Christian down there.
Ah.
And when she came back, she said, "Oh, guess what?" She said, "I stopped drinking." And I said, "Oh, no." Because I knew if I told her I was a Christian now too, but I still drink, it might cause her to go back to drinking. And I said, "Oh, no." And so right away I went and I prayed. I said, "God, I don't think it's a sin to drink, but if you want me to stop drinking, if you personally want me to stop, if it's best for me, then you give me a sign."
Ah.
So I was in my little room, where I live, and I was having my personal devotions that day, and I read in the Corinthians, I think 1 Corinthians 5, I believe it is, somewhere around there. It says, if any person is a drunkard or an adulterer or and I read that, and
They cannot go to heaven.
they can't go to heaven, it says, and I said, and I said, "Well, I don't know about that." And suddenly I had a big picture on the wall over here, on the wall over there. I said, "I don't know what I should do about this." And suddenly the picture fell off of the wall, fell to the floor, and
It's a picture about what?
a big painting,
Oh.
big painting with a frame around it, a wooden frame and everything that was had on the wall. And I went over there, and I said, "Why did that picture fall down right now?"
Okay.
And I looked behind there, and the string broke. And I said, I asked God if He want me to stop drinking, right? And I just read that drunkards can't go to heaven, and the picture falls off of the wall. I said, "Okay, Lord," I asked for a sign, right? I said, "That's my sign." And I went over to my cabinet, and I had a brand new big bottle of wine, not even open yet. And I opened it up and I poured it down there. And that was the end of it. The Lord took away the desire. I never wanted to drink again.
So it was
Right
a dramatic change, isn't it?
Just like that.
Just like that. Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's clearly the working of the Holy Spirit. Huh?
Well, I think there was an angel there that went like that and touched the picture and
Yeah. And so
To answer the
then
prayer.
immediately from then on you stop all alcohol.
stop drinking.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Friends, I think that's a wonderful experience we have here. If you want to have the similar experience, I think you would like to surrender your life to God
Sure.
and probably ask for a sign, a similar sign like the sign that Brother Kurt have been asking for the Lord, and probably the Lord will change your life just as much as He has changed his life.
Yeah, the key of it is when I made the decision, I'm not going to do that anymore because God doesn't want me to. Then the power to stop arrived with the decision, see? And it's the same thing with all habits. Any habit you're trying to break, smoking, whatever it might be, when we make a decision saying, no, God doesn't want me to do that, so I'm choosing not to do it, then when you didn't have the power before to stop, it comes with your decision. The Bible says, put your will in God's will, and that's where He gives the power right there.
Amen. Yeah. Okay, we will stay with us for the next program because we are going to continue with this, and I'll have more conversation with Kurt after this, so stay with us for the next program.